Hey, John Kavakis here with a different kind of my take. I thought you might be interested in doing a little comparo on models on the market. We did it a couple of weeks ago with one, and I've got another one here that you might find interesting. We've all heard about GFCC. They hit on the scene 4 or 5 years ago with some die-cast models that were fairly inexpensive, somewhere around the $20 mark or so. It looked pretty rudimentary. There were a lot of comments about the wheels and that sort of thing, but they were pretty good value. Well, more recently, they've come up with a new series that seem to be more detailed, seem to have certainly have better wheel covers. And you know, when they first hit, they were going for $55, $60 or so. Prices have settled into the base units for somewhere around 20, maybe a little bit less than that. And the more detailed units, 35. I've seen them at as low as 25. I've seen them as high as still 55 or 60. But I thought I'd show you the difference between the two different series. So let's take a look at it. First thing that pops out at you is the packaging. The base unit clearly says toy on it, and you can see the box is a lot smaller. Almost leads you to believe that the model's smaller as well. The more detailed unit comes in what we consider now conventional package. It's got a nice sleeve, it's got a nice acrylic cover, and it even has a plastic base. So there's a difference in the packaging, and that accounts for some of the difference in price. Now, when you open that base unit up, this is what's inside. It's nicely wrapped, got some tissue around it. There's a plastic inner sleeve to protect the model, but it's pretty rudimentary package. And as you can see, they've done as much as they can to protect the model, but you're not going to pay a lot of money for the packaging. You're probably going to throw it away once you open the model up. Now, the more detailed version has a whole different packaging philosophy. You can see the base, you can see the acrylic cover. Great if you're stacking your models. Also has those little drawings in it that are just reminders of the design of the car. Not real helpful, but it really adds to the packaging, adds to your sense of value. Looking at the models side by side, the differences are amazing. They're obviously the same size despite the appearance of the package. They're probably using the same tooling to make both models, although that rear window on the more detailed version looks a little bit more refined. But all of the bright work on the cheaper model is painted on. There's those wheel covers again. You'll see the interior is a little bit more rudimentary. The finish on the less detailed model is very nice, but the finish on the more detailed model is excellent. It's really nice. The paint is on there evenly. The little details are picked out a little bit better, but you can see there's a marked difference between the more detailed version and the less detailed version. Taking a look at the back of the car again, you can see the differences. The bumper, the tail lights, the stripping on the less detailed version is all painted on. It's nice, but it's not really lustrous. You look at the more detailed version, it's pretty well done. The badging is superior. It's got lensing in the tail lights, and of course, all of the chrome parts are actually plated. The same is true around the front of the car. Better plating. The grill even looks better. There's lensing to the headlights. The hood ornament is very nicely picked out. It really looks a lot better. And of course, you see the differences in the finish. Neither one is bad, but the one on the more detailed version is really excellent. Again, looking at the side of the car, the differences are very evident. The painted on trim. Look at the portals on the more detailed version, the side spear, the fender ornaments, the mirrors. And look at those wheel covers. They've done a nice job on the wheel covers in the more detailed version. There's also a noted difference in the interiors. You can see there's dash detail on the higher detailed one. There are door panel detail. The steering wheel's a little bit nicer, but there's trim around the seats. A much, much better interior on the more detailed version. So there they are. Both cars, I think both cars are really great values for the money. My collecting interests don't lean towards the less detailed one, but I'm surprised at the level of detail and finish in the more detailed one. I'm even more surprised to watch the prices as they level out where they are. That more detailed version is a really good buy at $30, $35 or so. The only availability I've found is on eBay and through some of the online retailers, the bigger ones, Amazon and Alibaba, that sort of thing. The company's a little enigmatic. They don't seem to have a website. They do have a Facebook users fans page, so you can find that under GFCC. There's not a lot of activity on it, so we don't know much about the company, but it looks like they're really trying to give us a decent value for the money. And I got to tell you something, these models are nicer than I thought they would be. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, give me a like in the lower right hand corner there. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Thanks for tuning in.